All right. Welcome back to the LPR Trading Group YouTube channel, guys. This is going to be a different video. I've got a short little intro right here. What I've done is I've recorded our full trading session in the morning. It's about 1 hour, and it is me live sharing my screen, talking to the members of the group in the voice channel, and I'm just going to upload the recording, unedited, a full hour of trading. We only took one trade, but we talked about a lot of stuff. So I highly recommend you get through this video. If you want to sift through a couple areas, that's fine, but likely you're going to miss something because I literally spew my brain out into the mic this whole session. So, get a drink, get some pop, get some chips, whatever it is, and sit down and enjoy the video. Quick recap. First thing, I want to see if there's a reaction down here in the 76 to 77.50. If not, just wait out that 15-minute initial balance. Any holds below this area, we'll look for shorts down into the mid-30s. And outside of that, we'll just sit and be patient. I don't want to take this trade right off the open. Wait for that price discovery for me just to iron itself out. Bids are thick here on the DOM too, right in this area. People trying to hold it, right? This could be just a little rug pull here. They need orders and liquidity to pull the rug, but if they keep refreshing this area, it could definitely hold. We're super early here though. I'm going to talk a lot today. I'm going to talk about what's on my mind. I'm just going to talk because I think people want to hear the process. For those of you that are new here, again, like the footprint chart that I'm watching is just your typical candlestick chart. It's just giving us detailed information of transactions at each tick value, which is very helpful. So don't get super confused by it. I'm still watching a candlestick chart here on my other screen. This is just giving us some helpful information.
The queue's running.
You can see even on the DOM right here, you can see how these orders, these big 100 lots are refreshing this HVC area. Big blocks of these 100 lots. They got taken out once and they came back and held the zone. I'm super tempted to take something here. I'm going to wait it out though. It's just not in my cards. If I miss this trade, I miss this trade. And remember, if you're using CDV off the open, it's an unreliable resource for the first few minutes of the open. Just be patient with it, let it iron itself out. Okay, we're back into these thick 100 lots here. This is a pretty important time right here, right in this area, for buyers to step up. I think if they get trashed again, we break lows, and then that's just it. And there go the sellers pushing through the buyers. If they can hold through the lows, then we're into that possible short trade from, you know, the 76, 77s down to the mid 30s. Buyers are definitely making efforts here. And again, we're 3 minutes into the open. No need to face roll the keyboard just yet. There's lots of time in the day. We're still in the price discovery stage. Buy and balance attempts in here at the lows. See if shorts can get rid of that. Yep, they're through it.
Big red on the Dom here.
Definitely, yeah. Lots of sell imbalances there. Good short pressure. So for me, down in this area between 76 and mid 30s, there's likely going to be no dip buys. The only dip buy I'll ever be able to take down here would be around a 1/4 size dip buy, just strictly based on price versus the CD divergence, right? If we get something like this, we can take a dabble back up, but there's going to be no full size trade down here. As there's no high volume clusters, there's no levels, it's just purely air down here all the way until the mid 30s. Ideally pullbacks into here and we can get value shorts down to mid 30s. But again, still early, 5 minutes in. We can relax. No high octane trading here, especially in August. And this is a day like so far where sort of those retail low breaks pay. You know, short the low, we're gonna get paid. And to be fair, this low short isn't bad. I always say there's a time and place for shorting breakdowns, buying breakouts. Okay, why is this a potential time and place to do so? Well, we established that this is our volume right here at 76 to 77. And if we get below this area, the 75 area, what do we have back here for potential HVCs or volume to hold? Nothing, right? So when I was talking last week about there's a time and place for these things, this could have been the time and place. Not for me. I typically don't like to go to this trade, but if you shorted something in here, it's not a terrible trade. This would be your time and place to try a breakout or breakdown trade or bad retail type trade. Double imbalance at the lows here, not something that I want to pick up. This is usually very pretend when it's not coupled with some sort of area or level here. Sure, this could work and it could fly. Not for me, right? If we're going market lawyer mindset, totally have to have more than this. Triple imbalance, this looks better. Still not the trade I want to be in. So for the new guys and gals in the chat, the colors here on the footprints, these are imbalances and they work diagonally like this. So we can see that there are more buyers at the offer here, significantly more than we're at the bid. Same with here and here, here and here. So this is giving us an idea that buyers are trying to show presence here, hold price up, and potentially push it to the upside. Whether it's short term or long term, we don't know, but this is what they're doing in the current moment. Interested to see what happens back into the 76 here. You can see that if we go to the 15-minute HVC chart, where we had volume before, that's where we printed 15-minute volume. So the push down, pull back into this area. If we can get a trade here, this would be ideal. Maybe 2-point stop. Back down to low of day. So we're talking 2-point stop, 10-point, 12-point reward. That's sort of where my mind is sitting right now. And that would be first target reward. And obviously we're looking for the mid 4130s on the last bit. I'm not a huge EMA trader, as you guys know, but this is the 20, and it is coming into our HVC area right here. So if we do get price up here, we could possibly get divergence, trap into an HVC, EMA, good RVR to low of day. Again, this is just what my brain's rolling right now. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, since we're stagnant here a little bit, we're going to do a little market scan. So some bigger market movers, tech names that carry more weight in the market, as well as NQ. NQ is doing very similar to ES. We're just sitting at the bottom of the range here. Tesla, looking at the lows. Apple through the lows. Microsoft through the lows. Netflix, same thing. Facebook, exactly the same thing as the overall market. Nvidia through the lows. Amazon just flat at the lows. Google bouncing a little bit. So a lot of the bigger names are through or putting pressure on the lows. Google's moving higher. ESNQ are just stalemate right now. Economic calendar here for today. Nothing. Homes tomorrow. A few events here on Wednesday. Nothing really on Thursday. Jobs will be at 8:30 in the pre-market. And then we've got this huge event here on Friday, this 10 a.m. Powell speaking. So could be saving a lot of the nonsense for Friday. It is only Monday. We should get something. But that's sort of our outlook for the week there. Okay, we're pushing higher. CD stays weak for now. Okay, CD stays weak into the lows, which is nice. Price is pushing higher. This is technically a trap here, but we do, or I do, want to wait for the push up into this area if we can get it. Into this 76 and see if we can get a trade up here. So I'm actually going to layer out a fifth of a position here. And if you're not trading with slightly bigger size, don't do this. I would just wait for the trade to play itself out. I can have a looser stop on this just to see how this wiggles itself out in this area. Losing on a fifth of position is nothing in our books here. So we got to fill in a fifth here, and we'll just see how this plays out a little bit. CD is making higher high now. Price is pushing. We're getting imbalances into this zone. If it continues to push through this zone really hard, we don't want anything to do with it. I'll add another small piece, and I'll be getting out over this high here. And it doesn't want to fill me. There we go. Okay, so now we've got like our hard stop area right here, right over this 78. I lied, 78.75. So either this is the short or we're wrong. And first target's going to be into the lows. I'll go in front of 68, so maybe 68.25. At this point, our RBR is okay. Our hard stop's in, and there's nothing else we can do at this point. "15-minute initial balance set itself in." Okay, this purple box here. Price is much closer to high of day than CD is to high of day. I like that in the sense that CD is weaker than overall price. If we do a little scan here and we see what NQ's up to, popping just like ES. Tesla still looking through the lows. Apple staying weak at the lows. Microsoft weak at the lows. Netflix got a little base and push off the lows. Facebook sort of doing what the market's doing. Nvidia looking stronger. Amazon staying into the lows. And Google staying strong, looking for a high of daybreak. So we'll see what carries the weight of the market here. But I mean, we're in the trade, and that's just how it goes at this point. We are looking for a low of daybreak here, is essentially what we want. And we either get it or don't. Recap of how and why we took this trade. I sort of talked through the whole thing. This is our HVC. We pushed back into the HVC. 2 imbalances. That's where we got our ad. And we're obviously targeting the lows and through the lows. About 50% of our big names are weak, which is good. CD is weaker than price. Let's look at it again. So CD, much weaker than price. So if we just go market lawyer mindset, we just put all these pieces of the puzzle together. I like the high probability short here. And again, once the trade's on, we win or we lose. That's just it. That's just trading, right?
Oh, not very. Yeah. I would say that. I didn't realize that. Maybe that oil's trying to keep going.
So our 68.25 here, if we go over and we look at like this area where the imbalance is held, that was 68. So if they're going to hold again, they're going to hold somewhere in this area. So this is where we want to be out, somewhere in this area if we do get down there.
Do the lows.
68.50. I just want to play this box right here. Oops. So this is the box right here that if price is going to hold, this is where it should hold within. So if we have our order here, I'm hoping that we get filled if we get in that area, and longs do decide to hold it and push it up. It missed our fill by a tick so far. So rude. I'll draw that box on there again just so we, here we go. Right here. Right, so this is our, these are imbalances. This is pivot low. Where is value? This is value. So technically maybe we got a bit greedy here. We could have went one tick below here. Either way, it is what it is. Okay, we got a fill on our first piece. And what I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to put a buy at break even. And then for now, I'm just going to go all the way down into the 40s. 40, 25. And just see how this plays out. Maybe we can get an ad. If I see a hard reversal to the long side for whatever reason, I can manually bail the rest of my position. But like I said, we're looking for a low of daybreak here. And we're looking for some follow through through the lows.
There it goes. There we go. Oh.
So since we're in the trade right now and we're fine, we have a good entry. We got our first partial. We can go back again and we can recycle the market, right? What is the market doing here? Well, NQ's breaking lows, CD's not breaking lows. That's, in my head, that's one red flag, right? Why is NQ through the lows and ES is through the lows, but NQ CD is staying above the lows? Okay, one red flag in my head. Tesla's still weak. This is good. This is working for us. Apple trying to break lows. Look at CD. It's holding above lows still. Microsoft's price and CD doing exactly what they should be doing. Netflix can't get through lows, hasn't even tried. Facebook, same thing. Nvidia holding higher. Amazon, it's doing what we need it to do, and Google holding higher. So about 50% of these big names are working for us and 50% against us. Since we've got our first partial on the trade and our entry is really good, if we just look at the candlestick chart here, 76.75. So this is our entry up here. I'll actually go like this, visual, entry. Okay, so this is our entry, this is our stop, this is where we took our first partial, and then we're looking for a good follow through low of day on here. And at this point, there's not a lot we can do. We want it to hold the lows, hold under 15-minute initial balance low. At the very worst, pull back to the 15-minute, like this 50% area, which I don't love, but I mean, price could do that. Hold lower and push the lows. We don't want to intervene here a lot, because if we do look at 1 hour volume here, or HVC chart, again, we'll go back. Current price is this blue dash line, and there's nothing here that suggests that price wants to hold. So where are we at on this trade? Even if you guys are trading, like this was a very small size trade for me, even if you guys are trading like 3, 4, 5, 6 MES contracts, like the trade hasn't even played itself out, you know, we're unrealized 300 bucks. You can do very fine in the futures, very well in the futures market, trading small size, small contracts. You don't have to go out risking the biscuit on every trade and, you know, trying to trade 3, 4, 5, 10 ES contracts. That's essentially suicide. Big area here on ES. So initial low of day off that opening drive to the downside. 15-minute initial balance low. About this whole area, I would say from right here, this is going to be a pretty critical area that ES, we want it to hold under. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We shall see. Steve, is this you buying like 50 ES contracts down here?
Yeah, in short, just chilling here. Someone's buying though.
Someone's doing things.
I think its NQ is just a little stronger.
Much stronger than I'd like.
It just like 13,000 or whatever is a pretty big demand for it, so it's probably gonna bounce around a little bit. It's like the daily demands from early August.
Big old psych number too.
Yeah, so if it breaks and hold under that, it's probably gonna wash. But for now, I suspect we're just gonna be beach balling our way down.
Which is fine. This is the beauty about like trading this way, is to get an entry like this, and my entry wasn't even great if I'm being honest, but to get an entry like this, if we get stopped out, the trade's probably not going to work, right? Whereas if we were taking entries down here, low breaks and such, bad retail type low breaks, if you get stopped out here, could the trade still work? Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. The trade hasn't failed just yet.
Everything's a little weaker than it was before, though, so that's a good sign.
It's weird, about half of them are like stronger than I want. Like Nvidia going for, well, maybe a failed high daybreak here on Nvidia would be a good thing. And at the end of the day, we know when we're trading, the market needs to go up to go down, right? This is just how it has to work. So as the market's going against you in a trade, I mean, you can't freak out. This might have been an ad here, if I'm being honest with you. So you got triple imbalance here to the short side. We go back and we look at our chart. And if you're just simply a moving average trader, this is right into the 20, and you've got 3 imbalances in this area. If you're short from here and you even just double up your size, your average comes down to here, which isn't terrible. But remember, especially for the newer people, there is something called FIFO in futures trading. First in, first out, okay? What does that mean? That means if you short contracts, 3 contracts up at 76.75, and then we add down here at 71, another 3 contracts, and we push down to the lows, and you cover 3 contracts. You're not covering the average of these 2. You're covering the 76.75s. Your new average becomes 71. First contracts in equal first contracts out. Okay? So you're essentially just selling the 76.75s, and your new average becomes your secondary contracts.
You're listening to Chill Your Mind Radio.
Nice. Third day on the sim for Magnus. 8-hour day. Fantastic. He said he's loving the footprints. It's great. So at this point in the trade, in the day, there's nothing we can do here. Like, our stop is in. The only questionable thing right here is, and again, this is just what's going through my mind. Dave, should you go break even at 76.75, or should you just keep your stop at, you know, that 78.50? Why would I want to put my stop at 78.50? There's a reason for it. This was volume before, right? This is the HVC we played off of before where we got rejected. Well, if my stop is 76.75, we're still within the HVC and we could definitely do this. Do I want to risk the extra 1.5 to maybe stay alive in this trade and get a good ad? Yeah. I'm putting my stop back to where it was. So I'd rather lose, I don't know, like what are we losing here on 3 points or 3 contracts, 2 points, 30 bucks? I would rather risk 30 bucks to stay alive in this trade, to get back into this HVC, get an ad and say, okay, we can double up with the same or better average and look to make much more if we actually flush that low of day and continue failing hard here. Because ultimately, what are our targets on this trade? Down here in the 40 or 41.36s. Remember, 90% of trading is hands off, right? You're either planning, doing nothing, drinking coffee, watching a YouTube video, whatever it is, and maybe like 10% of it is going to be executing. So once we've executed and put our orders into the market, there's nothing else for us to do, right? We shouldn't be micromanaging the trade. The markets were built to absolutely destroy human intervention, the way the human mind works. It's meant to crush us. So the more we intervene and move things around and make adjustments, I mean, we're just stacking the odds against ourselves, right? So we use that 10% of the time just to execute the order, find the trade, plan the trade out as it's happening, like we did today. What did we say we wanted today? If we got a breakdown of this HVC, we want to pull back into HVC to get best value, get into the trade, and after that, there's nothing else we can do. The result is it just doesn't matter at all. Some big orders came in here at that 41.66. We do have buy and bounces here at the lows. We look at our chart here. CD is holding a little bit higher than price. We haven't trapped the lows yet, though. What I will do, and this is only because this is a potential reversal signal, if we do trap lows on price and CD is holding much higher, I'll just take another 1 or 2 contracts off, because that is a minor reversal signal, right? Now, it's not into an HVC or anything or an area of interest, so it's not a huge reversal signal, but if it's telling me I could reverse here, I just want to peel a little bit more off. And that's very regimented as well. This is This is part of my cards and my playbook. And then we let the rest of it go. Outside of that, nothing we can do here. So at this point, I like to go back to the 15-minute HVC chart, see if we can find any volume areas, which it's currently trading in right now, right? We've got HVC right here, actually twice. We pushed down, we passed through it, and we created HVC 2 times here. So this area looks like some sort of area of significance for today's price action. It's not somewhere I quite want to add. We're a little bit too far down. But I like to just have it on my chart. Also on the 1 hour, same area. 30 minute, same area. 15 minute, same area. If you want to get super aggressive and add this area, you could. If you did, your stop is likely going to move down to like these 73 areas just because you sized up on the trade. You risk getting flaked out of the trade, but if the trade really starts working here, you can definitely size up, get big, and if that low of day break comes in with authority, you're flying on this trade. This might be like relatively new to you guys, just the whole trading but not trading type thing. We're not a super high octane room where we're gripping and ripping every candle that moves. We're looking for very precise entries, very precise areas to take trades around. We're looking for big money where they're going to create a wave so we can get on that wave and ride it with them for as long as it possibly happens. It could be short term, could be long term, who knows. It's also not the month to be high octane trading. So just the pure adaptation of this trader mindset, it's going to be critical to your survivability in the markets. A lot of people say you've got to adapt your trading strategies. I think if you're trading with big money and you're trading futures, which is a very liquid market, I don't think that you have to change your strategies like you would if you were trading a penny stock. You do have to change your mindset, and you do have to change your expectation. There were months that we were trading or weeks that we were trading where my profit targets were 40, 50, 60 points. Is this super realistic in this market? No, right? We're not going to get these opportunities daily, weekly, or maybe not even monthly. Could it happen? Sure. But if we just simply look at price today, what have we done? Low 64, high 80. We're in a 16-point range here. Okay, so we have to really adjust our expectations and adapt our expectations. We don't have to change what we do totally. We just have to make these small adjustments. Now, what I see here is I see price looking to break pivot lows. CD is holding higher right here. So what is this doing for me mentally? It's just putting up a little red flag saying, I want to see what happens when and if price breaks lows, if CD can really start moving down with price. If it doesn't, I'll peel off a few contracts, that's it. And we'll let a smaller runner run. And again, this is part of my cards, my playbook, my game plan. Some other people, maybe like Steve, he's just saying, screw it. I'm just holding, which he's very good at doing. Okay, so we get a low break on price. CD is still holding higher here. We're getting imbalances. Yeah, we're getting imbalances into the lows. They're not wanting to crush this through just yet. This is actually a long signal without our area of interest. I took 2 contracts off here. This is just part of my plan, guys. This is what I do. This is how I have to do it. If this dumps low of day and slams another 40 points, I will not be angry. I have 1 small contract left on for the runner, but this is how my system tells me to trade. Okay? We get a low of day break. CD is holding higher. 30-minute initial bounce low, low of day. This is going to be a critical level. Once we break lows and we can't crush it with authority, I need to take a little bit off. This is hard and fast rules of my plan. I don't have a choice. We have 1 contract left. So we'll adjust this guy. We'll buy this up here. And we'll cover this down at the 40.25s. Going back for the lows, good sign here. It needs to get through this low and crush it. Like, it needs to crush these lows. What is the primary reason that I covered another piece into the lows here? Well, this is the previous low, which is this yellow line. This low break here, what I wanted to see was I wanted to see these sell imbalances, bang, 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 through the lows and hit hard where there was no presence on the offer. Okay? It didn't hit, the lows hit, but the offers agreed with the lows. Look, 420 contracts, 339, 182, 276. Those are large sizes. But look, with the 276 we got 309. With the 128 we got 255. With the 339 we got 423. So the sellers are trying to crush the lows, but the buyers are also hitting the offer in this area, trying to hold price at the low. So we don't get these imbalances saying sellers are winning this battle through the lows. And we can see this on the footprint, right? Along with that, we've got our divergence on the candlestick chart. We just peel a little bit more off to be safe. We still have a contract to run in case it goes, and that's all we can do. See this low push and see if we can get that big run imbalances through the lows here, which is what we want for more movement to the downside. We really want to see a low break, red, 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 red. So again, we've locked in 250 on the day, which is fine for August trading, and we have 1 contract to run. 1 trade, and we just let it do its thing. Let's go back and look at this block of orders here in the order flow. So if we look at every push into the lows, large contracts hitting the bid, large contracts hitting the offer, large contracts hitting the bid, large contracts hitting the offer. So buyers are obviously trying to hold this up. Every time shorts put pressure on, pressure, buyers come back and put equal amount of pressure. You just go back to the law of physics, right? I mean, I don't know what the saying is, but you've got equal pressure being put on two objects. I mean, they're just going to remain stationary, right? 100 pounds of pressure from the right, 100 pounds of pressure from the left. They're not going to move left or right. They're just going to stay stationary. We need one of these sides to give up and sellers to put on 120 pounds of pressure and buyers to relieve to 60, 70 pounds of pressure. And then that's where we get that movement. Or it could happen inversely too. Buyers start applying 120 pounds of pressure to the upside and sellers give up, and now they're only applying 60 pounds of pressure. Well, we get movement to the upside. Supply and demand, right? The supply thins out, the demand thins out. Whatever side thins out first is where we should go directionally. Sellers stepped on the pedal here below the lows. Buyers trying to respond. Sellers stepping on the pedal. Buyers trying to respond. Every time the sellers put on the gas here, the buyers try and pop back in. So in my eyes, these are weak low of day breaks. Right? These are weak low of day breaks for what we want to see. I'm not going to cover this last contract for anything. It will stop out break even or target. That's just it. But we can still analyze the market and try and figure out what's going on here. And we can see every time the sellers put on the gas, the buyers turn around and put on the gas as well. We look at the DOM here at this 41.61. We've got 500 contracts down here, 400 and change. We've got 300 contracts at the 41.60. I don't think there's any reason why the market shouldn't go pick that up before it goes up. This is like market food, high liquidity. This should get taken. And a lot of these market participants here that are buying this area could be buying in front of these orders, right? This is a thick block. 278, 200, 200, 160, 4 and change. I mean, this is a thick block of orders. They could be front running the block. And once it gets into the block, if this block fails and they don't iceberg it and push down, all of these people who are buying this area are just going to get stopped out and we're going to get just this knife. If this does hold, well, then this holds and we move higher. Buyers are trying to hold up 60. Yeah, that's what it's looking like so far, Steve. But if that 60 goes, it's going to go. It's going to go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're doing nothing really in the market right now, putting pressure on the 60. Let's go back and do a little recap of what the other markets and some stocks are doing here. Tesla pretty much the same as the market. NQ putting pressure into the lows. Apple doing meh. Microsoft not much either. Netflix putting pressure into the lows, good. Facebook was one of the stronger ones earlier in the day when ES was weak, so it's good to see it putting pressure on the lows as well. Nvidia was very strong. At one point it was going for a high of daybreak. That failed. Super nice. And if we just go back and look at sort of our style of trading, where's our short here on Nvidia? If we go like this, we look for a high of daybreak. Okay, so we have weak high of daybreak, no follow through, divergence on CD and price. So this is obviously an area of interest for us above the highs. Weak high of daybreak, we would have likely gotten footprints up there if this was a market like a futures market. So this would have been our short, right? Short the extremes on a range day. We've got divergence between price and CD. Great trade. Where's our target? At the lows. That would have been a great trade. So it's nice to see Nvidia putting pressure on the lows as well. Amazon pressure on the lows. Google was previously strong, just like Nvidia was, and now it's putting pressure on the lows. So far our ES trade, I mean, I'm not too worried. I'm in really small that it doesn't matter, but even if you are in a bit bigger, I think we just got to wait for those 60s to go. Okay, here's the pressure in the 60s. Let's see the reaction. Watch this right here too. Watch this guy on my DOM. Let me change this color, make this thicker. Watch the 60s on my DOM and watch this column here. If we get into the 60s and price holds here and we see big numbers coming in here and price not moving below 60, this could be getting refreshed. And I just noticed my tape's not working. That's better. So there's the 60. See these big numbers coming in? These are orders refreshing on 60. 300, 350. So they're trying to hold the 60 here. We'll see what happens. They're also putting pressure on the offer though too. Reloading the offer. Get a nice flood of red. It got absorbed. 60 is definitely an area here. Russell's looking for longs into the 4130s. I agree. I agree. I like that 4130s area, 34, 36, somewhere in that area. They need a big knife through these 60s is what they need. Because right now we think, okay, we broke 60s, we're good. We're not good yet. The price action hasn't told us 60s have broken yet. We need like a knife through the 60s down to the 55s to really say we broke 60s. This is just strictly over under right now. Okay, market recap here while we have some downtime. NQ pushing into the lows still. Tesla actually holding the lows and pushing higher. So Tesla pulls a lot of weight in the market. Apple rolling, that's good for us. Microsoft pressure into the lows, good. Netflix doing a little Tesla here, but still flirting at the lows. Facebook pushing into the lows still. Nvidia, same thing. Amazon pressure into the lows. Google pressure into the lows. And if we go back and we look at every base that we've put in on ES, low of daybreak, weak, buyers come in and try and buy it up. Pivot low, weak, buyers really trying to come in and buy it up. Look at how hard this tape is flooding red. So you get a tape that floods this red, and we're not moving down. It's buyers sitting here just buying all this sell pressure up.
Something to note on the daily, 60 is the 20 EMA on the daily chart, so that may be why.
Nice, nice. I wouldn't be trying longs here, although buyers are trying to hold these areas. Like they're really trying to hold. There you go. See, that's the knife we're talking about. You see how we just knifed down really hard? We got all these sell imbalances. Now, very important for sellers is they don't give up here. They continue to flush this. If they give up here and then this happens, this turns into exhaustion. They really have to put their foot on the pedal here. We'll go back and we'll look at some markets now. NQ, same thing. Tesla, I would have expected a bigger reaction here. That's red flaggy to me. Apple still not through the lows. Microsoft through the lows. Netflix looking at lows. Facebook through the lows. Nvidia through the lows. Amazon flirting with lows still. And Google through the lows. Shorts really trying to put the pedal down here. There we go. So this is continuation we're looking for, right? We want this like bang, smash those orders, get into these 55s, and now really they just have to hold this down. What could realistically happen on ES throughout the rest of the day? It could still be a short if we pull back into this area. Maybe it could pull back into the 20. It could still be a short if we pull back into the 15-minute initial balance. Where's our entry? This is the important thing. Where's our entry? Here. Our stop is here. Current price is here, right? We didn't get in on a low break. We didn't get in on this low break. We didn't short these lows and have this stop. We're looking for best price, most value, and really trying to let this thing work out. It's really, this is the premise behind the whole group. And for those of you that have been here for a long time, you're saying, Canada, Dave, I've heard this so many times. I know, and I'm in this trade, and I'm killing it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm likely going to wrap it up here for myself. I've got my target in down here, 41.40.25. I've got my stop up here, 78.75. The orders are just going to stay there. It's not going to move. You know, I hope this little banter here on voice and some screen share helped some of you out. Helped you more understand at least what I'm looking for. I trade very similar to Steve. You know, we're trying to get best entries and look for something to really move and run in a direction. So I wouldn't say that this market is very good for me throughout August, but we can find trades as we see. I'm trading much smaller size in August because I don't want to expose myself in a market that is not ideal for my trading style here. And I really just try and keep it super simple. And, you know, I hope through this I kept it very simple for you guys. I did record this. And the reason why I want to stop it now is I do want to upload this to YouTube. You guys can go back, scroll through it, have a look, listen to the banter again, and hopefully maybe you picked up some things watching it a second time that you didn't quite get the first time. And for anyone not in here, they can obviously listen to it and go back and check out the day.